So I wanted to do an explanation video for the 30-minute techno chiptune jam that I did for the Chipfest Cyberspace event, and I've also uploaded the live recording to my YouTube channel as well. So it was something I put together in 24 hours. I only slept for 4 hours of that, but it all came together. I wanted to do something completely new. I figured I've been in the game a while and maybe people are kind of used to the kind of music I make, so I wanted to do something completely different. So I decided to put together the kind of Techno 303 stuff that I'm doing on my YouTube channel with the chiptune that I'm traditionally known for and make something new. And here is the breakdown of how all that worked in the technical way.
So it's time for jerky and lower quality video as I switch to my handheld webcam. So this part of the gear that I arranged on the floor for the Chipfest set is about this Arturia Keystep and this Eowave Domino synth module. So the Keystep is just a MIDI controller like any other, but there are some cool features it has. So there is a step sequencer in it, and there's also an arpeggio, which is what I use for this set. So if you press play, it enables the arpeggio. If you just play single notes, they sound like single notes still. But if you play chords, you get that classic chiptune sound. Now this Eowave Domino is a cute little thing. It's a French synth, and it's quite simple. It's based around transistor oscillators, and it's fully analog, so it does go out of tune very easily, and hence I have this guitar tuner so that I could kick it in the set and do a quick retune of the synth if I needed to. Luckily it stayed in tune throughout, but I did have problems in the practice phase. So this is meant to be inspired by the TB303, so it's got a lot more features than I actually used in the set. All I did was set it to a square wave, which was phasing in and out to sound like my beloved Atari ST. That was going through this Zoom RFX 300 on an ambient reverb preset. And the only other thing I put reverb on was the Volca Nubass, but even then it was only a bit, but I'll get to that. Okay. Well, this was the drum machine that I use, which is probably my second favourite drum machine. It's awesome anyway, I definitely recommend it. A few people have commented that I have fitted this rather nice looking TR-909 style skin on it, and I find it a lot easier on the eye with that skin. And if things look nice, I generally find that I'm a bit more kind of attracted to using them. So I programmed preset rhythms in pairs, so they were chained. So one rhythm has 2 steps of 16. So that means you can have 4 if you do a pair like that. So I had overall 8 different 4-bar rhythms, and I programmed them all from scratch. This thing has sounds from the 909, 808, 606 and 707. So I did use a lot of sounds from my favourite drum machine, which is the TR-707, in case you were wondering. Now the kick drum is actually a 909 kick drum. It's a 909 snare. The toms are all from the 707. The rim shots from the 707. Clap, I think it's an 808. The open and close hi-hats are 606. That ride cymbal is set to an 808 cowbell. And the crash is the 707. So as I said, I configured all these rhythms, and this whole thing is maxed out in terms of the patterns it can store. And you heard all the rhythms already on the jam. Now, this surprised a few people, I think. It's the Volca Nubass. So originally I was going to use the 303 for the set, and I started to program it, but I don't know. I changed my mind just before the performance, actually. I was quite worried about things going out of tune, and this Volca Nubass locks itself in tune very well, so I quickly reprogrammed the patterns from the 303 into the Volca Nubass, and I think it turned out really well. I love the way this thing sounds, and I might do a separate video on that. That's going through this Boss DD2 digital delay, which is a 12-bit delay pedal, and it's set to 3/16th note delays using the method that I have shown in the channel before, where I set up 2 notes which are 3/16ths apart and then tune the delay so that it's in time. With the delay, that's how that works. This thing is actually an Amiga trackball, but it's brilliant, so I can't really use a mouse on this carpet. But I do have this Amiga trackball, and by swapping 2 wires around you can get it to work on the Atari as well. And it glows green and red, so it looks really cool. Now, the Atari provided most of the sounds in the jam, and I was using my tracker maxYMiser, which is kind of hard to see because I was using an old CRT screen. But basically I programmed a set of different patterns, also 4 bars long. Each pattern only has 2 tracks. I was wondering about doing 3 tracks with extra chords and stuff in the 3rd track, but I decided that I'd try to keep it minimal. So when you play one of these patterns that come from the Atari, one track is the bass, and there's also some arpeggios, and I can mute and unmute those with the Atari keyboard by using Shift plus QWE. W is track 2, E is track 3. If I had anything in track 1, it would be Q. And then switching patterns with the trackball, which I've already explained. So the last bit of gear is the Alesis Nanocompressor, which should be no surprise to regular viewers. Let's just run it with and without the compressor so you can hear the difference. That was with the compressor and without it. It's just got so much more punch and movement with that compressor enabled.
So that was how the Chipfest live set all worked. I hope you found that interesting. If you did, it'd be great if you could hit the like button. And as always, I will ask you if you'd consider subscribing as well. I'd really like to eventually get to 1,000 subscribers, and you can help with that. So hit that subscribe button if you think it was cool and I'm deserving of your subscription. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in another video soon.